Exclusive interview with Tina Talbot. She's the Waterford woman convicted in 2018 of murdering her husband.
Talbot pleading guilty to voluntary manslaughter. She was released from prison on Tuesday after serving 20 months for the crime. 7
Action News reporter Alan Campbell has been on this story from the very beginning and has more on what Tina plans to do with her life moving forward and how she plans to be a voice against domestic violence. Alan?
Well, Carolyn and Dave, it's been more than 2 years since I first reported on what happened between Tina Talbot and her husband. And now that Tina is free, she can start her life over again and make up for lost time with her family, her friends, and especially her 9-year-old son, Philip, one day at a time.
I just want to sit and reflect and enjoy life, to the fullest.
Tina Talbot now, just a few days after being released from the Women's Huron Valley Correctional Facility, sits in the same house she shared with her husband, Milo Saponovich, for years. It's also the same place Tina would shoot and kill her husband on a warm September afternoon.
A lot of people have asked me, and they said, with everything that happened in that home, how can you go back there? Don't you want to make a clean start? I said, well, I am. I am making a clean start.
Tina was granted parole this summer and walked out a free woman Tuesday morning from prison after serving nearly 2 years behind bars for voluntary manslaughter for killing her husband in what she calls a kill or be killed scenario.
911, what's your emergency? I need to send the police. I killed my husband. Okay, how did you kill him? I shot him.
I knew the day that everything happened and that I did what I did, I'd be going to prison. I knew that.
Talbot's injuries were well documented, from bruises on her legs and face to fractured bones. Tina says it wasn't just her life in jeopardy, but the life of her 9-year-old son, Philip.
Instead of my husband dying that day, it could have been myself and my son.
For the last several months, the family of Tina's husband have been trying to stop her release through appeal after appeal. They were all denied. Tina says her husband's abuse wasn't just towards her, but also his family, including his mother.
They knew what he was. There was a history, and they're aware of that history.
We reached out to Tina's husband's family for comment. They say there was no domestic violence. We found a police report from reported he assaulted her and has a history of assaulting her and her mother, but that police have never been called. The report goes on to say the mother left the residence because Milos had assaulted her a few times because she had been late picking him up from his place of work.
It hurts because somewhere in my mind I thought she would tell the truth. She'd witnessed it. She'd been here when he'd done it. She was a victim of it herself.
Tina says things haven't always been easy, not just the past 2 years in prison, but her relationship for more than 2 decades. She says now she deserves to be happy.
I believe at this point in my life, at this stage in my life, that I do deserve some happiness. It's not been an easy life for 25 years, and I want to enjoy life.
Talbot will now serve 24 months on parole and says many things were put on pause while she waited behind bars for her release. Now comes the time to continue those relationships, go out and serve in the community, and be a voice for those who feel they have no way out of an abusive relationship.
You feel so alone, you feel so defeated that it's like you think that there's nobody that's going to help you, and I just want women out there to realize that there's always somebody that will help you. Reach out to somebody, there's always somebody.
Tina says now she wants to reach out and help others who may be experiencing something similar to what she did, and even work on a piece of legislature that protects women in violence and abusive relationships. Reporting live tonight, I'm Alan Campbell.
And there definitely is always hope and help. Thank you so much, Alan, for bringing us that report tonight.